All right, so it came to my notice that I might need to talk about immigrant and non-immigrant visas, as there are people that might not really understand how these two types of visas vary. When you hear immigrant visa, you might as well just replace immigrant with permanent. So immigrants suggest permanent, and this is for people who are seeking permanent residence in the US in the form of what you might call green card. Naturally, anyone who secures a immigrant visa or seeks to remain in the US permanently ultimately goes on to become a citizen. There are several categories that fall under this bucket of immigrant visas, and one of them is family-based sponsorship, and that would look like the K1 visa if you are applying for a fiancé. Say you are a US citizen and you are engaged to someone who lives outside of the US. You can file for a K1 visa and have your fiancé come into the United States through the K1 visa. If you are married to someone who lives outside of the US and you are a US citizen, you can file for them to come join you in America using a K3 visa. And if you have family or relatives abroad and you're trying to file for them to join you in the United States, you can file for them using the F1, F2, F3, F4, or IR, right? Which means immediate relative visa. And these are all special categories for family-based sponsorship, where you can invite your family members outside of the US to come join you in America. Another type of immigrant visa you might hear people talk about is the employment-based sponsorship visas, and these are the EB1, EB2, EB5 category type visas. And the last type of category for the immigrant visa that you may hear about is the diversity visa program, and this is for the lottery program or the green card lottery program that you might have heard about. There are people who got this lottery from any and everywhere in the world, and it allows you to simply come into the US as a green card holder. And so when you hear immigrant visa, so we're talking about family-based sponsorship, employment-based sponsorship, or diversity visa program, one of these three most likely. Now for non-immigrant visa, you might as well replace non-immigrant with temporary and just say temporary visa. This is often tied to a specific purpose and is bound by a limited amount of time. Now this limited time is often associated to the purpose for which the visa was being issued in the first place, and in this case you usually have to demonstrate intent to return home after executing what you've come to the US to do. Example of visas in this category include the business visa, which is like the B1 visa, tourism visa, which is B2, student visa, which is F1 or J1 or J categories visas, and last but not the least, you have the temporary work visa, which is the H1B, and this allows you to work but only temporarily, and it is capped by a limited amount of time.